Welcome to Impact Moments powered by 90. Today we're sitting down with TJ Gliha. He's the president and CEO of Journey Wealth, a full-service wealth planning firm based in Cleveland. And they grew the business, him and the partners that acquired it, from around $250 million in assets under management to over $1.4 billion with a team of 26 people. But this episode isn't about those impressive numbers. It's about a moment that changed everything for TJ and the way that he thought about they were doing business. A client was sitting across from him miserable, even though he was extremely successful, more money than he'd need. His health was suffering, his family and relationships were broken, and TJ realized that he needed to do so much more than just manage a balance sheet. So that realization led to a lot of hard conversations and a big pivot that led them to build out an entire wellness offering alongside their financial services. So life coaching, health, precision healthcare, family counseling, all of it. And so we get into that, those hard conversations with partners, the comedy of trying to self-implement EOS at first, why TJ believes his employees are his number one asset. So lots of great stuff in there. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Impact Moments powered by 90. Thank you for being here. I am Christine Watts.
I'm Kris Snyder.
And we're digging into those aha moments, light bulbs, things that happen that really impact our businesses and as leaders. So thank you for joining us, TJ.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so I'm going to have you introduce yourself and your business, and then we'll get into it.
Absolutely. TJ Gliha, president and CEO of Journey Wealth. Journey Wealth, we're an independent RIA, full-service wealth planning firm located here in Cleveland, Ohio.
And you're a client of Kris's as well.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, so when did you guys meet?
Oh gosh, but way before that,
Oh,
right?
really?
So it goes back to the Entrepreneurs Organization in Cleveland, EO, Cleveland. TJ, you were the rep for. So I used to work for a previous firm called Sequoia Financial, and they sponsored EO. And when I joined Sequoia, they said, we'd love for you to be our ambassador to EO. And so it was a wonderful opportunity for me to meet 165 local entrepreneurs, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, and I jumped on the opportunity because I almost pretended I was a member. So I would go to all the events and
You were the best at it ever. Like everyone says that, by the way, to this day. Like
What
they're
made
like,
him the best?
well, because he actually showed up, you participated, you engaged like at a different level. Because most of the sponsors are like they stand in the back of the room, like waiting for someone to come to them.
Mm-hmm.
TJ was not that guy. He was like, I'm in, I'm figuring it out. Let me go understand like what you're doing. How can I help you?
yeah, it was, well, I mean, it's rooted in personal development. So if there was an opportunity for me to learn or grow or ask questions or, poke around, like I'm all in. So it was a ton of fun.
So what was your pathway into Journey Wealth?
So, midway through my tenure at my old firm, I just felt this entrepreneurial itch. I always use the line of I wanted to sign the front of my paycheck and not the back. So it wasn't a structural issue; it was more of a personal issue. And so an opportunity presented itself at the end of 2020 where an existing advisor was looking for succession. And it was a wonderful platform. They provided services to, it was a multifamily office that provided services to professional golfers. So everything from paying their bills to bookkeeping to assets to managing their assets to getting net jet hours to you name it. They hate their landscaper. We help them get a new landscaper.
Yeah.
And so that platform, and these aren't your local range pros. I mean, these are, just this year we had 2 guys on the Ryder Cup team.
Wow.
So this was a really good, long-standing business, and this gentleman was looking for succession. And I formed a group of partners, and we acquired that part of the business, and we used that as the framework to build what is now today Journey Wealth.
So TJ, we've never talked about this, but I remember this moment in time, and there's like all those moments in time that you might remember not. During the pandemic, we didn't have that many. That I'm going to the orthodontist. I have like the Invisalign braces coming on, right? I'm pulling up to the office, and you call me. You're like, "Hey, I want to buy this business." And you and I have this conversation. I sit in the parking lot for 30 minutes. I show up late to my orthodontist appointment, and we're just talking about it. I'm like giving you all the reasons why you shouldn't buy it. I'm like, "Hey, here's why. Here's how it's happening." And at the end of the year, like, "I'm gonna buy it." I'm like, "That sounds amazing. You should do it. That sounds great." Do you remember that?
No, I mean, I remember talking to you about it, but I don't, but I'm glad that I remember saying, so there's certain clients that you meet along the way or friends that you meet along the way that they encourage you, and Kris being one of them, that was like, and I remember when I finally said we're doing it, he's like, all right, it's about damn time. Like
Yeah, no, no. Well, for you personally, it was about damn
yeah,
time. I was trying to sort through the business that you were buying
yeah.
to bolt on the new business that you saw in the future, which was like, it is one of those moments like, I can buy this business and then I'm going to bolt on this business, which now the business you bought, this other business has surpassed by a third, two
Uh,
thirds.
So we've grown. When we acquired the golf business, it meant 100% of our business, right? And so that roughly 250 million of assets under management. And just, I mean, right now we're right around 1.4 billion. So we did that in 4 years. And we had 4 employees. Now we have 26. So it's been quite a ride over the past 4.5 years, and just really exciting, and been a ton of fun.
So you're like, don't buy the business. You say,
No,
I'm
no, no,
doing
no. I
it,
didn't
and
say
then you
I didn't say
coach.
don't buy it. I said here's all the reasons you wouldn't buy it.
No, he did a
Let's
good.
talk about it.
But then you coach right after that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Christine. I have a T-shirt that says "Let's talk about it, TJ,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we have to talk about it before
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah.
But he did it. So, and by the way, for those playing at home, 1.4 billion under management is like top
Yeah,
2%,
so there's
top 5%.
17,000 RA firms in the country. About a little over 500 have over $1 billion of assets. We were able to do it in a short period of time, and that was never our goal. Our goal was to just deliver value to our clients and have a ton of fun doing it. I just wanted to build a firm that I wanted to be a client of. I mean, that's ultimately what we set forth to do. We all get one crack at it. We only get one crack at it, so it's like I might as well take a swing and build a firm that I want to be a client of.
So we brought you here today, impact moments. What was that moment, story, aha that happened that really impacted you or your business?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. And as I just mentioned, I wanted to build a firm that I wanted to be a client of.
Hmm.
And early on in our tenure, I had a client relationship. He came in, and he had just finished his third private equity transaction. He had just amassed enough money that he'll never have to worry about money again. And instead of celebrating this pinnacle moment in his life, we spent time talking about he's unhealthy in his relationships. His wife's depressed. His daughters don't talk to him. He's 70 pounds, 80 pounds overweight. And at that moment, as soon as we finished up with the client, and I said, I went to my partners, I said, we need to do more for our clients. We need to deliver more for our clients. We need to think about additional services that we can do to surround our clients, to help them live their best life, to maximize what is our most valuable asset, being time. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how big your balance sheet is, if you're not really enjoying the time, and you're not maximizing the relationships. So at that time, we were instrumental. That was instrumental in helping us build the infrastructure, what it is today, Journey, where, not in addition to managing assets and financial planning, which is at the core of what we do, we also have a wellness service offering. We went and hired an executive life coach on staff. We have strategic partnerships with precision healthcare and
Wow.
family counseling and addiction counseling, nutritionists, physical trainers. So we just want to help deliver value outside of just your normal, hey, the S&P 500 went up 6%, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the commoditized piece of the business. We really are. We are very purpose driven. We really believe in the four pillars of wellness, and that's spiritual, emotional, physical, and of course financial. So that aha moment, sitting across the table from that client, really helped us build what is now today Journey. And as we built Journey, and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, we knew that, I always laugh with our partners, is that when we first started, we were too nice to each other. We
Oh.
were too nice. No one was ready to have uncomfortable conversations. We kind of, well, everybody was wearing multiple hats. And so we have a lot of clients that have implemented and used EOS and have had a lot of success using it. And we knew that we needed to do that. And when we implemented EOS and we got and with Kris's help, when we got the right people in the right seats, when we got good at having uncomfortable conversations, when we got good at building out our core values and our business plans and driving everything back to our core values, it really has helped us become more efficient and help deliver the value that we want to deliver to our clients.
Well, I think we actually have to land in there for a moment though, because you guys had to do the work. Like we create the space for the work, but you had to do the work. And in that moment in time, when you have four partners,
Mhm.
equity owners, something like five, maybe something
Mhm.
like that, that's not what EOS does. Like we don't do that. Like we create the space for it, but you actually had to go lean into it and go, okay, so what are we gonna do about this?
Yeah, what was the thing that really made you guys change mindset of like stop being nice and start being real? What about EOS made that possible?
We kept falling off our bike. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You kept stepping
Quarter
in
after quarter.
right.
You're like, well,
Just
here we are again,
skinning our
team.
knee, and it's
Here
like,
we are
"Geez, oh,
again.
man, like, what do we do?" All right, and we finally said, "Let's commit to this. We're gonna commit to it. We're gonna follow the process. We're gonna humble ourselves," which is the biggest thing. Like, "I'm not good at this," right? And humbling ourselves to admit that and saying, let's get the right work to the right people. If we do that, we get the right work to the right people, we're gonna be able to deliver for our clients." And so, it led with uncomfortable conversations, a lot of humility, and Kris has heard me say this before, is I do not need to be a pioneer. We can be a settler. If there's a better way, I'm all in. If there's a way that we
Yeah.
can, expedite the process, be better and more efficient, I wanna do it.
So what was that time frame like when you started EOS? Like when did you really start seeing some of that positive change happen?
Well, I'm gonna take step. So we tried to do it ourselves, which was just we should have had a video camera because Kris knows our team. It was a comedy show of I love my partners. Each one of them is uniquely different and has different perspectives, which makes it special.
Right.
Um, but
I agree, special.
but
I agree, it's
when you
very
get it,
special.
there was just a lot of like we'd sit there for 3 hours and be like, I have no idea what we just talked.
Like trying to follow the agenda, but no one's really leading it, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
and
Yeah.
it just like we'd have tech calls and
You gotta
I'm
meet Pete,
yeah.
by the way. If you meet Pete, you'll understand.
Yeah, Pete's the best.
Pete's the
He's
best.
a lapdog.
He's
I
the
mean, he
best.
is the best.
He's the best.
But so when we tried to implement our own, we knew that we needed help. And
Mhm.
then when we began the process and we truly like were bought in, and we did have one partner who was really skeptical in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it was awesome to see this partner overcome the skepticism and buy in because it really when everyone galvanized, we really took off.
What made them skeptical?
She's finance, compliance,
Okay.
Yeah.
Christine, you and I have talked about this. Like I've
Yeah.
done the 90-minute meeting so many times. And like I sit down, like, oh, you're either in finance or marketing.
He
And
did
that's
tell
all I
us
need to
Yeah.
yesterday.
know. That's all I
Yeah.
need to know. Like as soon as I saw her, I'm like, all right, Lauren, let's do it.
Yeah.
So what was the
She's
breakthrough for her?
Well, I think it's just understanding that if we follow the process, you stick with it, all of a sudden you're like, this
Seeing the
works.
results.
Yeah. And when you get to sit across from your partners and you commit to each other, either the one thing commitment or over the next 90 days, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to follow through on it. And you see the results and you see that you're freeing up time, you're freeing up capacity, your team's growing, the clients are being better served. It speaks for itself,
The
right?
momentum build.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say it was probably 3 quarters in before like she actually saw it. I might be wrong, but maybe it's 2 quarters. I don't know. But she actually was like, because we get to the whole like end of the meeting, the quarterlies. We're like, rate the meeting, TJ. He's like, I'm a 10, and she was like a 10. I'm like, oh my god, TJ. She said that she's a
The
10.
Brace
clouds
yourself.
open.
It was like,
But
oh my god, like
she's the best, and you
she's
need that. You
amazing.
you
She's
Yeah.
need you
incredible.
you need that on your team. You need somebody that's gonna challenge. If everybody said yes all the time or everybody said no all the time,
Yeah, don't take it.
you can't.
Yeah.
And that's what's special about our firm is, the most important thing is we won't do anything unless it better serves the client.
Yeah.
I don't if it's a system or a process or a tool or an investment product or whatever it is, it has to be in the best interest of the client or we will not do it. Like it's the Jeff Bezos. We leave a chair in the meeting room open to represent the client.
Yeah. Well, you started your story with the conversation with that client and seeing that they needed more and then going to the team and saying, what more can we do? Did you feel like that was met with resistance, or was there a lot of change that had to happen to make sure you created that more holistic
Yeah,
practice?
it's a great question, and to be honest, finance people by nature are risk averse, right?
It's
I
your
mean,
job.
so when you say, "Hey, I really want to go," and I want to start talking about their feelings, or we want to start talking about nutrition, or we're going to introduce them to a family counselor, a lot of people are uncomfortable having that conversation, especially in the finance world. If it's about, how do we minimize tax, or we're going to rebalance your portfolio, people are so the touchy-feely side of what we wanted to bring to the table, it was met with skepticism. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. And I look at our clients, the average age of our client is 54 years old. The average employee we have is 40, 42. And to put it in perspective, our industry, the average client in the industry is in their late 60s, early 70s, and the advisors are, in their late 50s, early 60s. So we skew much younger. And when we look at our clients, they want more. They want more than just the managing your portfolio. They want, and they in especially 70% of our client base are outside of the golf practice, but 70% of our client base are entrepreneurs, and business owners don't have time, and they want tools and things that they can maximize not only their time, but how can they get better, personal development.
Yeah.
And so, especially the younger entrepreneurs, so it married really well with what our clients were looking for, how we could deliver value. And it's not 100%, right? Like, we got some work to do.
Yeah.
But there isn't anything. We want to be the one-stop shop for our clients. If I sit across from a couple and they tell me that we want to retire at 65 years old, we want to take our grandkids on a hike in the Grand Canyon, and they're 55, and they just told me they're 100 pounds overweight. They just told me they haven't talked to their daughters in 2 years. I'm giving them a timeout and saying that's a wonderful goal that we can build into the plan, but we got a lot of work to do to get there, and
Right.
none of it has financial.
Right.
None of it's financial. That's the easy part.
Mhm.
Like, we need to get healthy. We need to get healthy in our relationships. We need to get
Yeah.
healthy physically. And of course, I won't, you say it more diplomatically than that, but that's the truth.
Yeah, well, it reminds me of what you talk about where you sit your clients down like, what does everybody think this is worth? What do we need it to be worth? And having that real conversation of what do we expect and what are our goals and then what are realities.
Right. And in that moment, it's like a business conversation.
Mhm.
So it's like, all right, the business is worth like $2 million and you want $10 million. But then TJ goes, all right, between 2 and 10, what are you going to do about it personally, family, financially? Like, what are you going to do?
Right.
And that's why, like, I think we've worked really well together. It's because, like, keep breaking on, I don't know. That's not what I do. I do frameworks in business. You guys go solve that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when you were implementing all of these like new services, you didn't really like internally have any like team pushback or rejection or anything with that. You kind of like went full steam ahead into like this full ideal
Yeah,
world.
let's do it. I
Yeah.
mean, let's do it. And if you go into it knowing that you're like, no entrepreneur goes undefeated.
Right.
None. But if you continue to work towards something that A, there's an appetite for it in the marketplace,
Mhm.
and B, you're actually delivering value. Even if we lose money on this in the short term, like, I know we're delivering value to the clients. I know we are. And
Yeah.
so we gotta continue to refine it and get better. And it's working.
Well, I'm curious about the moment too. You went from self-implementing to getting an implementer. Was there a moment where you said like, "Oh, like we need to do this right now," or did it kind of just like, organically happen over time?
No, I mean, there's one thing that I remember is where one of my partners, I love him dearly. He kept including me on these technology calls. And we're vetting providers, and we're vetting, and I would sit on the hour of this call, and I have a short attention span. And after the call, he's like, "Well, what'd you think?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I wasn't paying attention."
Like,
Like,
be honest.
I like,
Yeah.
like, at the end of the call, I would say, "Whoever you think the budget, you know what we're looking to accomplish. I trust you more than I trust myself to make this decision.
Yeah.
Like, so let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
if you think this is the right goal, I'm all in."
Yeah.
And so when we started having open dialogue then, it's like, all right, good. Like I have the autonomy to make these decisions, right? I have the freedom and I have the trust of my partners to make these decisions, and we have an aligned vision. Like that was kind of the aha moment. Like, all right, good. You run in your lane, I'll run in my lane, and we'll meet it. And if there's an issue, we'll talk about it. But
Yeah.
so that was that I was overt in saying, please don't include me on those anymore.
Yeah. Is there a moment for you that sticks out as, like, an impact moment, like, working with Journey Wealth from any of the quarterlies you've done?
I would say core values, like when we started the core values, like they came off really strong. And then we had to have the conversation about activation. Do you remember this?
Hmm.
It's like, how well are they activated? Like, all right, team, tell me about them. Because you guys were like out of the gates strong. Like the leadership team knew the core values. And then, like, quarter after quarter, like we had probably 2 quarters in a row where it was not well activated. Like, we're like, well, maybe they understand, they don't understand. What could we do different and better?
Hmm. And that's how, but that's the fun part about this. Like
Yeah.
I drive home a lot, and I'm, like there's times where you feel like you're Jerry Maguire singing "Free Fallin'," and there's other times you're white knuckling the steering wheel.
Yeah.
But we get to do this, right? And if there's ways that we get to improve and get better, and in the activation of the core values, so that our team members knew what our core values were, that we're hiring on them, we're firing them on them, we're selecting clients on them, and we're actually like these are that embody our. It didn't happen overnight, and
Yeah.
nothing good happens overnight.
Yeah.
Like.
Nothing good happens over. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, it's been fun to, and when you
Every quarter we show up again, TJ, we're gonna do it again.
yeah. And
Here we
it's
go.
great.
Here
I
we
mean,
go.
and I don't know, I know we just met, but like authenticity is really important to us in
Mhm.
being ourselves, right? And just and living in the world of abundance is a critical value of our firm, and like those are rooted in everything we do, and I love it, and our employees know it, and our clients know it, and so, yeah, that's been a lot of fun.
What do you think is the best thing that you've done as you've scaled the business people-wise to help reinforce that, like, really healthy, positive culture aligned around your core values?
I'll give you an example. So I mean, we celebrate, like, and I think oftentimes we, everybody laments the losses or if somebody does something wrong, but like, we celebrate the wins. If
Yeah.
we have a new employee and they win a new client or they accomplish something, like, we'll shout it out. Like,
Yeah.
hey, special shout out. Our wellness initiative, right? We want to challenge our employees and our clients to live their best life. And I set forth what's called a Misogi, which is Japanese tradition of it came from the book Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter. So this past year, my annual challenge was I with a client, another client, he helped me do it. We hiked the Highland Bowl and we skied down.
Hmm.
And so I shared that with the team, and one of our team members said, I really thought about doing a triathlon. And if you met the guy, like you'd be like, you did it? No,
No. You're
but
like, buddy, no. Sorry.
he trained, and we celebrated it. Like he set,
That's
and
awesome.
we put it on a board right outside so everybody can see and track it. And we supported him. And before
Yeah.
the rate, like it's just a community of like inclusion and supporting. And so we celebrate the wins. In a month, we're having a huge party to celebrate our 5-year anniversary, crossing $1 billion.
Nice.
It's too easy to forget about those things and keep, trying to
Push to the next goal, the next thing,
right. I
yeah.
don't wanna get stuck in the gap.
Yeah.
I don't. I wanna celebrate the wins. It is a testament to how hard our team has worked and how much we appreciate our clients, so you have to celebrate it.
I've been asking everyone this. You've obviously had a lot of success, you grew your business very well. I wanna know a struggle. What do you feel like is your biggest fuck up? I wanna go back, I wish that didn't happen. Is there anything that comes to mind?
I mean, so I think anything I actually like, like, if you screw up, you learn something from it, right? So,
Totally.
the one thing I'm gonna tell you I struggle with in is time. Like, we focus so much on, I want our clients to live our best life, that's our most valuable asset, but I personally need to do a better job of saying no
Mm.
because I enjoy saying yes so much. So by doing that, I know that sometimes it can hurt client relationships or it can hurt my family. So if you're talking about if there's one thing I can go back or continue to need to improve on is that like the time management side of it is I'm overcommitted
Mm,
in certain things that I really enjoy and believe in.
yeah.
Um, as it relates to right clients, we've had a couple client relationships that we've had to let go of
Yeah.
because they were tasking the team, they weren't what we were doing, or they weren't in the best interest, and we probably hung on to them too long,
Mm.
which is something that we need to be better at as a firm. Our employees are our number one asset. Like our employees to me are as important, if not more important than our clients. And we owe it to them to have the right clients and to provide the right opportunities and reasonable expectations. Right.
Right.
Early on when you start a business, you're like, hey, do you have a pulse? Oh, good. I'll take you
Yeah.
as a client.
Let's
Right.
sign up. Yeah.
How much money can you? Okay, okay. Like I can pay that money. Let's go.
So now as we've grown and we've segmented our business and we've gotten the right teams and the right spots, I
Yeah.
think being more deliberate in the client relationships that we take on has helped. So I think that's one thing that we've gotten way better at is getting the right work to the right people, having the right teams. And I think it's the biggest, screw up is also early on in the business is not admitting when you don't like, I can't do this, right? Like
Right.
in turning it over to a partner and be like, dude, I can't do this. You have to do this, or humbly admitting to when you're in over your skis. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time doing that. I
Yeah.
think they have a hard time saying, I need help.
Yeah.
Like I can't, this isn't working.
Are there certain things that you like lean on to help with like the delegation or time management or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm deliberate in routine.
Mm.
Like my routine is I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I pray, I read, I get locked and loaded for the day. I go work out. I can't come in, and I'm sure some of my partners and employees don't. Like it's 7:50, and I'm like dialed in. Like this is what we need to do today. Like,
Yeah.
um, and that's been really helpful. And there's days where you have to focus on process. There's days if you have to focus on projects, people, procedures, so outlining those days, being systematic in the framework has been helpful in that. And again, if there's something that I'm in belief that you should only spend your time doing the things only you can do.
Mm.
And if I'm in things that like I don't do the modeling and the planning and the software because I will screw it up.
Yeah.
I don't do it. Like I can do it, but the team would be like, "Could you get out of there?
Yeah.
Like, you're slowing me down. You inputted the wrong key." So
Yeah.
I really believe that if everybody can, gets in a role in a position that they feel most strategic and that they feel that it's the work that only they can do, you're going to maximize success.
Yeah, and I know you talk about delegate and elevate a lot and people like really writing down and thinking about here's what I should give up because like even if I'm good at it, somebody else can be too. And like if I don't like doing it and I'm good at it, I really shouldn't be working on that.
And it's every quarter. Like I think TJ's his whole discipline's great because like every quarter we look at that and we go, here's my seat, here's where I sit. What can I delegate?
Right.
And if I can, I do. And if I can, I can't. But I acknowledge I can't until the point that I can. When I can, I delegate it because you should, right?
Right.
And that's how you escalate your whole role.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we've been deliberate recently at hiring ahead. We've been really
Mm,
good about hiring ahead of the growth. And now I feel we have a fantastic team and we have capacity. And
yeah.
it's like taking a weight off of all of our shoulders. Now you have people who can do the work and it's working. And now my next 12 months for the business is just run the play.
Yeah.
Run the play. We have the team. We have the project. We have let's go. Let's just run the play
Yeah. I love that.
until something else happens and then we'll figure it out.
I would like to say on your behalf to the user, anyone who's listening, your operations department, which is Anthony, like he ran the play hard for like multiple quarters before you guys could. Is that fair?
That's fair.
That's fair, right? Like he was like 60, 80 hours. I'm like, he was doing it all. And now you guys are in that place where you can. So, but I just want to say that because people think that wow, it's not us yet. It's like, not yet, but it's coming. You have to have an Anthony. You have to have somebody who's going to go do that work to get to that place where you can escalate and do the right work next.
Mm,
That's right. I mean, 100%. And I mean, it's a grind. I mean, like, and
It's a
it's
grind.
becoming less and less of a grind. It's becoming more fun, more strategic. It's always fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always fun, but it's less of a grind. It's in certain things.
Yeah, I like following, Sarah Blakely, and she's a big, like, if I'm not having fun, like, something's not working.
Yeah,
So I feel like I very much
I
resonate
don't
with
know if
that
I'd have
too.
fun wearing her product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good follow, though. Lots of, like, hilarious stories about the things that she did, rearranging things in Neiman Marcus to, like, get in the door, so she's got good startup stories.
And that's the other part of this is there's a lot of humor in like I just have fun and I enjoy like you have to have fun while you're doing it. And this is
Yeah.
about as dressed up as we get.
Yeah.
And it's not about pomp and circumstance. It's about delivering value to the clients. It's about having fun working with people you want to work with. And it's also about saying, I don't know the answer to this or I need help.
Yeah.
And if as long as we can humble ourselves, say I need help and I don't know, the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, I'm curious to go back to I feel like it's a very relatable experience to have to fire a client or get to the place where, like, you realize it and, like, wow, big decision. How long did it take you to make that, and, like, what was that process like? Talk us through it.
Yeah, the first time this was a friend,
Mm,
and which made it
harder.
harder. But all the services and what they were looking for, we just weren't the best. We couldn't provide what he was looking for,
Mm.
and so it finally came to a point when you receive emails or phone calls from that particular person, and it just makes you anxious, and you don't want to
Yeah.
pick it.
You
That's
Like,
can't
like
do it.
avoiding replying,
yeah, you're
yeah.
like,
No, I
"Ugh,
can't do
not
it.
not again."
Yeah.
So, and wonderful person. We just knew it wasn't the right fit, and so we made a conscious decision to part ways. And I think the relationship's stronger now than it when, and I feel like they were feeling the same way too, right? And it's just having those uncomfortable conversations. And we've gotten really good at if your job is to eat a frog, it's best to do it in the morning. If your job is to eat two, eat the bigger one first.
Yeah.
So be okay with having uncomfortable conversations and call it out from the beginning because, most of the time they may be feeling the same thing. And, we've made it abundantly clear to our employees that we choose you,
Mm.
right? So if there's a client who's a jerk or not doing well, which thankfully we don't have any right now,
Right.
but we choose you. And it's okay. Sometimes clients, we live in the world of abundance. There's a better firm that may be a better fit for them. So, but I could tell you if it's putting stress on your team, if it's putting, stress, if you're anxious to take a phone call or we all have relationships where they're awesome clients and sometimes things are just clunky and you're like, "Oh no," like
Yeah.
that just happens, right? It's just
Yeah.
like the Murphy's law, like the most detailed client, all of a sudden something gets screwed up and, but it
Yeah.
makes you better, right? It makes you better. And I think in our firm, we have kind of debrief meetings. So after we meet with the client, we meet and say, okay, what could we have done better? Could we have communicated better?
Yeah.
And I'll lead it by saying, dude, I talked way too much about this, or I forgot to cover this, or their main concern was that, and we kind of brushed it over. So let's make sure. And we have, Ray Dalio and from the principles, they love radical truth. Now, I don't know if radical truth is, I don't know
Yeah.
if we'd go to 100. Everybody wants to hear the truth until you tell them the truth, and then they're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so not so much.
Yeah.
So I think
I'll
constructive
pass.
feedback and how we can get better. I think those are things that we've taken from our meetings, and then I think it's implemented in how we can service our clients better, but ultimately as we vet clients.
Yeah.
Like, do we really want this? If someone's hammering us about fees and they're hammering us about this or that, like, not sure we want this client in long term.
Yeah, I mean, I love radical candor for that reason too, because it's like, yeah, radical truth, that's all great, but the delivery matters a lot, and
Yeah.
so, like, that kinda nuance
Do I
being
look good in this
explored.
dress? No,
Yeah.
you look really fat.
Yeah,
That no,
exactly. Not helpful. Well, that's
I
my
know.
last
I know.
question for you is, what are you watching, listening to? So books, podcasts, articles, like, what's inspiring you right now?
I love, and I've talked about this in the past. I love the Founders podcast, and David Senra reads autobiographies and biographies about famous entrepreneurs,
Cool.
from Rockefeller to Elon Musk to Steve Jobs to Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, James Dyson, Sam Zamuri. The list goes on and on. And in that, you just learn their entrepreneurial story. You learn all the Bill Walton, you learn or Sam Walton. I mean, you learn all the tricks of the trade, and unequivocally, every one of them failed.
Yeah.
Every one of them, so oftentimes we get so hard on ourselves as business owners, like, oh, it has to be perfect. It doesn't. Like, you're
This
gonna
time.
fail, right? And you just have to realize that even the great ones before you failed, but how did they get better? And so I love listening to those podcasts. I love reading. I really do. I read every night. I'm like a little kid. I suck my thumb and read my book before I go to bed. So,
Yeah.
but from everything from biographies of entrepreneurs to I love, like, Comfort Crisis is a perfect example, or From Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks. Die with Zero is another book that I really have enjoyed. I love Morgan Housel books like Psychology of Money. I'm actually really excited about reading his new book that just came out. So just little things I will tell for all the listeners. For new employees, we always, The Go Giver is a fantastic book for those starting out in their careers. We often forget that in order to reach our full potential or full successes, we have to give more than we take.
Yeah.
Right. And so I love giving the Go Giver book, and I reread it. I love listening to Jamie Dimon's Harvard commencement speech from 2009. And he talks about, I listen to it once a year, and it's just
Oh, really? Yeah.
I loved Citadel. The CEO of Citadel Ken Griffin gave a talk to Yale students. You don't see a whole lot of interviews on him, but he gave a wonderful hour and 6-minute thing you can find on YouTube. So
Yeah.
if again, I'm not a pioneer. If I can settle and take stuff from other people, I'm all
No,
for
that's
it.
great. And so you require all of your employees to read The Go Giver too.
Yeah, so they have a kind of a book club, and
Oh, cool.
every month there's a different book that the team reads, and they talk and they discuss, and
Are they
so
happy about it? Do they like it?
yeah, I mean, and a lot. I mean, some of the books are more educational,
Okay.
and what, like Nick Murray books on how to be a better advisor, and other
Mhm.
ones are personal development. Like
Cool.
in the Comfort Crisis is a big thing. Like, I want you to challenge yourself.
Right.
So yeah,
That's
that's.
awesome. Yeah, thank you for that. Lots
Mhm.
of interesting resources that we can link out to. I'm curious. So for people that want to reach out to you, what's the best way to do that?
Our website, journey-wealth.com, is a wonderful resource. My email's there, my phone number's there. Yes, I'm giving out my phone number for those of you that want to call or text. I'm available. Happy to chat to whomever. So our website's a wonderful resource. The 903 Collective is our wellness division, our wellness arm. So for those of you interested in life coaching or precision healthcare, or want to learn more about that space, there's the 903collective.com.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll link out to all of those things in the notes.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is time. I'm sorry, I could be long-winded. I could talk forever. So thank you
It's
for having
okay.
me.
It's the
Yeah,
best.
no, we love it. Yeah. So thanks everyone for listening to Impact Moments powered by 90. We'll see you next time. What an awesome conversation with TJ. I loved his perspective and how he really listened to his clients to understand what they need and how that led him to actually make real tangible changes in his business and how he opened up those new areas that he can service his clients. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming conversations. We'd also love it if you leave us a rating. It really helps our leaders and entrepreneurs find the show. And if TJ's story resonated with you, whether it's the wellness side, the EOS journey, or just figuring out how to get the right people in the right seats, head over to 90.io, see how the platform can help you build the kind of business you actually want to run. We'll link out to Journey Wealth, the 903 Collective in the show notes, along with some of the books and resources TJ mentioned, the Founders Podcast, The Go Giver, Comfort Crisis, and a few others if you want to check those out. Thanks so much for listening to Impact Moments powered by 90, and we'll see you next time.